We're back in Battlecry battles, and today's the day the engineer is out. But not only the engineer, a crazy absurd amount of items for each class as well. But today we're going to be jumping in with the engineer. We're going to be trying out this starting loadout. So we're rocking the Porto Charger. What this is going to do is going to charge emitters repeat their mission effects after 5 seconds. The chargers travel 150% speed, and what that means is, start a battle, we're going to emit a charge from our battery, which moves along those little thunders every 2 seconds. So once the charge is on it, they're going to trigger 10% faster, plus 5% per travel. So by the end of it, the last item is going to be going pretty darn fast, but only when the charge is over. So starting off, I do want to grab ourselves this broom as well. Definitely want to start off with multiple charges. Let's take the shiny shell for a bit of a heal. We could take the piggy bank too if we want to, or we could also go for a little bit of hero sword action, but I do have a different idea in mind, and it does require finding a single freaking goddamn frying pan, which we didn't get. So we'll settle for another broom. But I might sell the stone and I might take the banana as well, and I'm trying to figure out how the hell we're going to fit this banana in. Maybe like so. We're going to be running out of stamina for 7 million years. I probably do want to preserve this leather bag though. Leather armor on sale would have been nice as well, but let's get going. So with a resistor, once the charge hits it, it's going to give us a bunch of heat. Only up to 3 heat though. Well, I should say 20 heat. This is 3 heat per charge, and you see the charges right now on our weapons. Once they're over, speeding all those items up. So charges look like they're going to be a lot of fun. Maybe. Thicker leather armor, second banana could be kind of good. I'm going to take it, but I'm going to roll. And there's our freaking frying pan, man. Now the frying pan is going to be super important because we can actually craft up generators. We can craft up shovels, which craft up into a ROBO dog. And that's where I'm planning on going. Going for a ROBO dog action. But the generator emits charges as well, so we could go for a generator type build too. But definitely want to take another freaking battery, man. And we could use our battery to target a resistor again. That way you can get crazy amounts of heat. Or we could have it set up like so, and I'm pretty darn happy with this setup for now. Speeding up our banana even faster by having it over for 2 seconds. So the longer the item, you can just speed up the broom with the battery. The entire length of it, because it is 4, which is madness. But can we take on this hammer berserker? They're going to be trying to stun us like crazy. They're going to be dealing some big damage. But can we win out? Hell yeah, we can. Not bad at all. Smashing even. And we got ourselves our shovel, which does take a resistor to craft up that ROBO dog. I was kind of hoping for dig deeper, but we didn't get it. Piggy Pinatas here. Fortuna's Kiss or False Life. I'm not gonna lie, kind of want to gamble a little bit. Like on Battlecry. Actually, you know what? That's going to be correct for us. Now, Skull Badge is here. I'm not sure if we really want to go for other class specific items. Not right now, at least. Not until we get used to the Adventurers items. I'm really hoping to grab ourselves another freaking frying pan so we can craft up a second shovel. That's going to be my game plan anyway. We do manage to get one. Hell yeah. I'm also going to take this fanny bag, but our Icon Battlecry is going to trigger our batteries again. We're going to get a ROBO dog on. We're going to get our second shovel in as well. We're going to be running out of stamina for 7 million years because that's a freaking wooden buckler, which will eat our stamina when we do hit it, unfortunately. And we're also stacking up heat, so everything's going to be going faster and faster. And this shovel is going to be going crazy. Look at all the charges on it as well. But that's 18 heat. Echo Battlecry with resistor is going to be nice as well. The bad news is, once we get our doggo crafted up, we're not going to have the resistor for heat anymore. A bit less than ideal, but it should be okay, hopefully, potentially. Maybe. But we got a ROBO dog. So this is going to give us heat every 1.5 seconds. Let's take the fanny back. As long as it has some charges on it, that's for sure. Let's keep rolling. That is a mana orb. We could have went for magic staff as well. I kind of want to take that, still hold on to our magic staff. Potentially. Am I crazy for that? Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it, but it's going to be in a pretty darn horrible spot for now. Let's venture on. We're going to have a ROBO dog in. We're going to have our charges most of all on it, so we can just reset this cooldown as much as possible, but also just give us a crazy amount of buffs. We stack up our heat insanely speedily. And it shouldn't be too bad, because once the charge is on them, they're going to be fully charged, which means this cooldown is still going to be constant. That is as long as we can have our batteries going, and they are start battle effects, so eventually we are going to run out. But that's why we do have the Icon Battlecry to generate that charge once again. And right now it's not looking too good for us. Even though we got all these buffs, our opponent is speeding us out. we don't really have the damage as of right now. So we do end up losing our life, but it is what it is. And we do get ourselves a cog, which can be sold to trade up an item. We can also craft up a wrench or mecha bat. Should we take it? Probably, right? Let's roll. That's a resistor. Do we craft up our second doggo instantly? I'm not sure, eh? I think I'm just gonna roll once more. Now I'm gonna reserve the stamp stack and we are gonna move on with this. We're gonna take a second doggo, which honestly might be huge troll for us. But we should have infinite heat generation with double doggos, right? Because infinite heat stacking is kind of exactly what we want. Get this fella going crazily fast. And right now it's 12 heat, 13 heats, bunch of luck, and yeah, a single shovel isn't going to be a whole lot of damage for us, even if it's going super speedy. But that's insane buffs. We definitely need to add in a second weapon. I'm hoping that we can craft up a magic staff pretty darn fast. But that's a second doggo. Let's take you with a fanny pack. Hell yeah, let's roll. We could go for a poison grenade. We could also take a torn whip. Let's roll. Hammer? Wooden sword? We could go for a torch. But we do need some sort of damage. So the wooden sword is definitely going to have to be the play for now. Just considering the eye lamp as well for a ton of scaling damage, which would be kind of nuts for us as well. Was there any way we can actually take it? Well, if we sell our stones and this banana, that is 5 gold. We just need to sell you and keep our burning coal, but sell our shiny shell. Or should we keep our shiny shell? Maybe we should keep our shiny shell and sell you instead. But it does mean we're going to get a ton of scaling damage. But is it really going to be enough with our turbo dogs to scale up enough damage to win out? Because we need to stack up crazy amounts of heat. And we should be able to get lots and lots of heat. And right now we should have some decent scaling damage with a super speedy eye lamp. 22 heat within 8 seconds is kind of nasty, is it not? 30 heat, still going up, and we have infinite luck as well. But is their damage really going to be enough? Because they do have a mana thirst. But our wooden sword is now dealing 10 DPS. But unfortunately, it's looking like we're bleeding in our life. The turbo dogs look nasty, but at the same time, if you don't have the damage, they don't really do a whole lot. Now, speaking of the damage, how about we go for prismatic sword? Definitely not what I expected, but it's kind of what we're going for, right? Let's roll again. Now, Kyle steals buffs as well. We could have went for a chainsaw too. I'm not sure how much we do want this Kyle. I think I'm going to sell the bag stones. I'm going to keep rolling. That's another battery. How do we say no to another battery? We're going mad on batteries. Well, let's get moving once again. Let's get a prismatic sword online and see if we're going to be able to win this, because at least with a prismatic orb, once we get a turbo amount of heat, we should be able to get empower, we should be able to get vampirism, everything else we definitely want to. So we should have even more scaling damage and some scaling survivability right now as well. So the faster we get going, the more we get our prismatic orb going as well. Stacking up our weapon damage, our vampirism, and all in all, shouldn't be too bad for us. Definitely not. And with our doggos, actually not looking too bad. Hell yeah. Smash it even. Now we do got a couple of options. We could go for the material scientist, which will give us cubes. Now cubes are going to be strange things that advance cooldowns. And since we're going for heat stacking, we probably don't want this. The electrician, however, does, whenever it receives a charge, advance the cooldown of an item. With doggos, we could get even faster speed. We could also go for the mana crystal, which emits charges traveling once every 2 seconds. We'll stack up a crazy amount of mana in that regard. So this is going to be a big mana buff bomb type build. Then we also got the Mecha Armour, which has a base stamina regen of minus 100%, but start battle gain 100 block. And 10 health regenerated, or 10 armor gains gain max stamina. Every 3.2 seconds, if your stamina is below 5, gain 30 armor. Otherwise, use 1 stamina to gain empower. I'm kind of leaning towards the Mecha Armour right now. Then we also got the laboratory, which will use our luck to gain more heats per heat item, which honestly we're going to be stacking up a lot. Then use that heat to gain a bunch of spikes, but then use that spikes to gain regen, and after that use that regen to gain vampirism. But also use that vampirism to gain a crazy amount of empower. Now Chemist could actually be kind of nasty with our setup too, but I really want to try out the Mecha Armour. But that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now I also really want to grab the Ruby Egg because I want to go for this Thunder Drake, which charges those items, which will be your shovels. So yeah, we're going to be taking it. The thing is, we do need this banana in, otherwise we're going to be in trouble. I'm going to just roll for now. Until recombobulator on sale is a nasty, we're going to sell you so we can take this fanny pack and speed up our doggos even more. But at the same time, then we're going to be struggling a little bit to get our banana in too. So we might need to leave that out just for the time being. We also need to grab ourselves some vampiric items. Most of all, on our prismatic sword. We can also go for the Mecha Bat, which is a vampiric item, and I think that's exactly what we're going to go for. A bunch of Mecha Bats. Hell yeah, but let's get going.
Yeah.
Is this going to be good enough? Maybe. We're going to have this super speedy prismatic sword that really isn't going to do a whole lot just yet. We are going to be running out of stamina for 7 million years. As long as we get block, as long as we get health regen, we should be able to stack up our max stamina, and so far, not looking too bad. Hell yeah. Well, let's take a bloody ammo. With our unstable recombobulator, with our cog as well, and that's a lot of poison. Also, you have an absurd amount of gemstone slots, which is kind of crazy actually. But I'm going to sell our bagstones, keep rolling. And I'm going to roll once more, and we need this storage. The unstable recombobulator, it's just 3 golds. But I also really need this fanny pack. Do we sell our mana orb? I'm actually going to sell our mana orb, which is madness. Because I genuinely really need that fanny pack. Let's run stable recombobulator. We're just going to let that go by itself. Now, charge splitter. Use your heat to gain luck. I mean, I'm going to take this because this is just going to be nasty for us. Now, it is after 3 seconds, so maybe it's not that good. But when it receives a charge, emit 2 charges. So it means we can keep constantly scaling up our doggo. So I'm definitely going to take it. 1,000,000% going to take it. We should have lifesteal right now on our prismatic sword as well. So this should be able to generate stamina, so we should be able to stack up our max stamina per days as well with that. As long as every time it hits, it heals us for 10. And that's going to be a game plan. Just a crazy life-stealing prismatic sword. And we got ourselves our bat, but we're going to craft up this dragon as well. Now, we do got a couple of options. I mean, shielded with the mecha armor. How do we not take that, right? Speeding that up, super speedy versus full body protection. I'm not sure if we really want to go for it. Double rainbow, 2 targeter shovel doggos. Let's go ahead and take this for now too. Let's grab our storage. Let's take our charge splitter. Let's roll. Is there anything else we really want? Not exactly. We could take the gloves just in case we want to go for vampire gloves, but I think I'm going to go for another mecha bat, which will use up a lot more stamina for 7 million years. But I also really need the storage. I genuinely don't think we can actually place this Hunger Blade in. We sell you, we take this because we can find ourselves some prismatic orbs. You are magic holy item, which with the spear could be nasty. Now, magic holy item really speeds up a prismatic sword. But full price, I'm not going to take it. And we are going to venture on. But let's get our Thunder Drake crafted up. But at least with our Mecha Bat, it's going to use our stamina to gain vampirism. But after we get a certain amount of luck, it's going to use that instead. So we should have crazy amount of lifesteal. And just crazy amounts of max stamina. And it's not looking too bad. We have crazy block as well. And this should be going extremely fast at 1.3 seconds. Which is kind of insane, is it not? The Mecha Pilot. We got our Thunder Drake as well. So now every 3 hits, this guy's going to charge. It's going to charge those items. So that's going to be nasty for us. We could take Wolvertinger, which will increase our base stamina regen. I mean, if there's ever time for this guy, it's right now. We're just going to ignore him. Now that's a second eye lamp, which is more skilling damage. But I'm going to settle for a little bit of storage. We're going to roll again. That's another cog, that's another dragon. We could go for multiple Thunder Drakes. How do we say no to that? The thing is, with our Thunder Drake in, we're going to be charging these items, speeding those up. Every 3 hits, they're going to charge those items for 2 seconds, which means they're going to be going faster by 20%. I would really love it on our mecha armor, but at the same time, it's going to have to do for now. The dragon egg, we're going to have to take. So I'm going to sell you as well as you to go ahead and grab it. It does mean we're going to lose out a little bit of speed on our prismatic sword, but that's going to have to do. Let's get going once again. So the Thunder Drake is going to be nasty because it also doesn't use up any stamina, so the faster we get this going, the better. It's also going to keep constantly charging up our shovel doggos, so they're going to have insane speeds. And we're just going to have infinite heat, infinite luck. Which is kind of awesome as well. But we got tons and tons of block with our armor as well. And right now it's going to be eating up a lot of our stamina. But 250 block, not bad at all. Definitely not bad. We could use this if we wanted as well. Let's take a little bit of storage. We probably should have taken this storage instead. You know what, let's just roll. Do we want this? Do we want a little bit of block? Probably. Another resistors, we can go for another doggo. We could just get more heats. I'm not sure if we really do want it. There's also poison grenade, which is kind of interesting also. But I kind of want to grab another one of these because I really just want to find ourselves some prismatic orbs. The more prismatic orbs we get, what's this trade, man? They're better. But also this is going to charge our charge splitter as well. Now we're actually using up a lot more heat though because of this charge splitter. Well, kind of. It does use up some of our heat, unfortunately, but at the same time, we should be able to still get a lot of heat with our shovel doggos, which should be nice. And we got crazy amounts of block, and after that, it shouldn't be too bad. Now, we are running out of stamina because we are hitting a shield as well, and it doesn't mean we won't be able to lifesteal. But every time we get block, we should be able to get max stamina, and it shouldn't be too bad from here, potentially, hopefully. Although, Wolpertinger could be higher in the priority list because we stack up so much buffs anyway. But with this guy, it shouldn't be bad at all. And smashing. Not too bad at all. And that's our prismatic orb, which is insane for us. Let's take it, let's roll. And we could try to go for another ruby egg. Not sure if we can really though. But we do want to go for another thunder drake, that's for sure. Still gonna roll though. And yeah, we're gonna be rocking on with this. With our prismatic orb, we should be able to get more lifesteal on our prismatic sword, more skilling damage, more attack speed. And yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Now, we're only going to get 0.2 max stamina back every time we gain 10 max health. Which means every time we're going to hit with this, it's going to use up 1.3 stamina per second. And yeah, we're not going to be getting a whole lot of max stamina back. But we'll see. Can we take on this cheesy Excalibur going insanely fast? We're going to be getting tons and tons of max life. We're going to be going cracked with Empower, tons of max life. We've got a decent bit of poison on him. And you know what? Not bad at all. The heat stack in doggo is looking kind of nasty actually. And we got ourselves our Thunder Drake. Now the question is, do we want to take Tim to steal those buffs? Or just resist crits and debuffs? Maybe, let's roll. I'm looking at this Glowing Crown as well, but I'm not sure if we really do want it. Let's take more max stamina, let's roll. Wolpertinger, our fancy rapier might actually be insane in this build. I mean, doesn't it make sense? It's going to be using up a lot of luck, so maybe it might be better than the prismatic sword. Yeah, now thinking about this, definitely could be an archetype by itself. Doggos, the fancy rapier, it makes a lot of sense, right? But I'm not going to pivot into it as of right now. Let's just keep going. We could go for Chainsaw instead if we want to. Let's take you since you're on the sale. Let's go ahead and grab you as well. Let's roll one more time, and that's Wolpertinger, which we're definitely going to have to grab. So at least now with an extra Thunder Drake in, we should be able to speed everything up again. Now, the only thing is, our prismatic sword is going to be kind of in a tough spot. We are going to venture on. We're going to have our Echo Battlecry this side. It's going to be tagging our Mecha Armour, so we get a bunch more max block, which should be pretty darn nasty. But are we going to be able to stack up our max stamina insanely fast? Because right now, it's not looking too bad. And with our Thunder Drakes going super speedy, we do manage to win out. Not bad at all. It's all looking kind of awesome. Lots and lots of buffs, but how much DPS do we manage to get? Overall, in terms of DPS, we do have about a 53 DPS, Prismatic Sword doing the vast majority of it. Then with our Thunder Drakes, the opponent does have a 20 DPS as well. In terms of heals, we do have about 30 healing per second with no max health gain, but in terms of block, about 344 block. All coming from Mecha Armour, which is kind of awesome. But I do think we can actually have the potential to make this crazier. Maybe. We do get a Wolpertinger. Let's grab more storage, let's roll. And that's one final battery. How do we say no to that, right? We could also use this Kyle to be targeted by our Thunder Drakes, so we can steal a bunch of balls every time this does hit. Well, I think it is time we take another battery, or do we take the Kyle? Do we sell our customer cards for the time being as well? I'm going to sell one. That's going to be awesome for us. It does give us another battery, which would be nuts actually. Let's sell our stones to go ahead and take it. That's going to be a lot of charges for us. We're going to put in our customer card with one set of blueberries, and this is going to be our next setup. We did move around so we can have our shovel doggos to the side, so we can try to make better use of our prismatic sword in this spot. We'll sell our shiny shell to go ahead and take you too. Now maybe we actually should have kept our shiny shell, because the shiny shell does give us some skilling damage too. But we'll see how we get on with this. Can we speed up our Mecha Armour? We should be able to charge up our Charge Splitter, which uses up some of our heat to give us more luck, but also sends out more charges as well. So I think it's going to be kind of nasty, because our doggos still give us all that speed. The opponent does have a crazy new item called the Halberd, which does destroy armor. But we have so much buffs, it's kind of insane, is it not? Crazy amounts of power, lots of ampers, and 28 max stamina. And that is kind of nuts. Definitely so. Now let's go ahead and take you. One particular is also kind of awesome for us as well. Bird we could take, I'm not sure if we do really want to. We could try to go for another Ripsaw Blade. We could just take another Fanny Pack to speed everything up as well. Shiny Shell is back again. Rectified my mistake. We'll take it. Let's keep rolling. One more Prismatic Orb, that's all at once. And that's another freaking battery. It's also another Whoppertinger too. I mean, I'm going to take another battery, right? They all start ball effects, which doesn't really do a whole lot either. Let's tell you, let's go ahead and take this Fanny Pack again too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this up top so we can have you in as well, speeding up our Thunder Drake as much as possible. But let's sell you as well as you, and let's roll once more. And let's just venture on. So at least now this is going to have a little bit more scaling damage, and that is a Toast Goobers with the Thunder Drakes, with a wrench as well, and they got the Automaton, which is going to be stunning us. It's going to be dealing some big damage. And we'll see how we actually pan out, because they're going to get some big mana bombs, but at the same time, our Thunder Drakes, our heat stacked doggos, are putting in loads of work, and so is our Prismatic Sword, and smashing. They're kind of crazy actually. And we do get ourselves a bird if we want it as well. How about just another Fanny Pack? Let's keep rolling. Lightsaber could be awesome as well in the builds. Not sure we really do want it. We could trade the doggo for shields. Hell no. Another set of blueberries. Not exactly what it wants. And that's what I'm looking for. Second Prismatic Orb is going to go such a long freaking way. Let's sell all this garbage. I'm thinking about selling the Kyle as well. Or we just sell our Fanny Pack. I mean, I would love to add in our Fanny Pack, so maybe not sell it. One set of blueberries then, I guess. And that's not looking too bad for us. Definitely not. Let's get moving for now. But can we take on this Steel Goobert's Piercing Arrow Ranger? They're going to get lots and lots of damage. They're going to get crazy amounts of crits. And they're going to be shredding our block with those crits as well. So this could be troublesome. But we got crazy amounts of buffs ourselves. We got loads and loads of power, loads of vampirism, loads of lifesteal. And just insaneness. Definitely so. This is kind of a cracked build, for sure. But a Whoppertinger definitely worth it too. And the Thunder Drakes also putting in some work as well. Let's keep rolling. We'll settle for you. Let's keep rolling. That's another Ruby Egg. Getting you in the final round is kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't really want you. Let's keep going. Can we find ourselves one final Prismatic Orb? You know what? Maybe we'll settle for you. Invincibility definitely could be worth it. I'm also going to sell you as well. Let's keep rolling. Another Resistor, which, yeah, I don't really want. Anything else? Maybe not. Do we sell our Testicle or do we sell our Cell Blueberries so we can go ahead and grab ourselves this too? Because that's going to be a lot of scaling damage on a Prismatic Sword. And that's kind of exactly what I want. Now, in terms of Kyle, this is going to steal a lot of buffs, but at the same time, it's going to take a long time before the Thunder Drake actually allows us to steal a lot of buffs. What I mean by that is this has to hit 3 times to charge an item. To receive a charge on this means this is going to take about 6 seconds to hit 3 times, maybe about 5 seconds. With all the heat. Could go down to 4 seconds because we're going turbo speed. So every 4 seconds, steal 2 buffs. Versus having this crazy scaling damage on a Prismatic Sword. And I think that's probably going to be our game plan. But let's see if it's going to pan out for us. Can we win out? Going to begin a Cupcake Staff. Mage. Double Cupcake Staff. The Amulet of Life. Which is gain a bunch of regen. Never seen that before. That's kind of awesome. They're going to have the Staff of Healing. Staff on Healing as well, which means they're going to get a ton of damage on us. 2. But with a Whoppertinger, our base stamina regen is stacking up with the amount of buffs we're going to have. So eventually, our base stamina regen is going to go back to normal, which is really awesome. So we get the benefits of this armor, no problem whatsoever. And Whoppertinger is actually kind of cracked with the Mecha armor. And with our Thunder Drakes, it's not looking too bad. We got crazy buffs, but they are dealing some big damage to us right now as well. So we could be in trouble, that's for sure. But we're also getting some crazy lifesteal, and our Prismatic Sword is now dealing 140 damage. And smashing. We do manage to win out. 150 DPS on a Prismatic Sword. And these doggos just giving us crazy amounts of heat is kind of awesome as well. I should also mention the Mecha Bat does give lifesteal as well when it's charged, so it's actually kind of nuts with the Thunder Drake too. But how much DPS did we manage to get? We managed to get about an 80 DPS. Prismatic Sword, then our Thunder Drake. So Thunder Drake's more utility than damage overall, but the Prismatic Sword, definitely smashing out. But I do see a Fancy Rapier being in this setup instead. Opponent did have a 70 DPS, which is not too bad, but in terms of healings, we do have about a 90 healing per second as well. With no max health gains, False Life would have been insane in the build as well. In terms of block, we did have about 200 block. Which, our Mech Armour give us a bunch of Empower instead. Which I'm not complaining about because that did increase your damage quite significantly, while we did have the lifesteal to support it with a Prismatic Sword. But overall, the Engineer is a lot of fun so far. And it's going to be a lot of fun figuring out all the builds. Especially these Shovel Bios 3000. But we did survive 3 lives left. How much rank points are we managing to get? Plus 47. Our rank is up from bronze into silver. And it won't be too long before we rank up once again. But I am going to have to leave here for now. I just want to say thanks for watching. And I hope you keep looking for the next one. I'll see you next time. Okay, we're back to some round 18 fights. And we're going to see how we can deal with some other builds. We are facing a Pyromancer type build. We're going to have the Enraged Phoenix, which looks insane. That actually gets skilling crits per heat item, which is kind of insane. Definitely going to be insane. However, can you keep up with their doggos? We do resurrect, use up all their heat, and it's not going to be close after that. Smashing. Now, can we deal with a Mercury Elemental, which has been buffed and now gains 50% block as damage? You also got a Superior Ring, which is kind of interesting as well. But they're stacking up a lot of poison on us, and I don't think it's going to be close whatsoever. Hell yeah, it's not. And can we take on a Pine Protector, which is food item activates to prevent 1 damage up to 10. That's kind of interesting. It's going to be a great early game item, but later on I think it's not going to be as good. Maybe. But they're going to stacking up a lot of spikes, but at the same time that's not going to matter too much for us. We have crazy amounts of block, and we're starting to deal some big damage, and not bad at all. Definitely not bad.